Hello everybody, and thank you for joining us here today, where we are going to take a look at the Seeing AI app that's available on the iPhone and the iPad, and we'll go through the features of the app, showing you what it can do and how to install it. So first up, I have connected a mouse to my iPad today for the purposes of this demonstration, and the mouse is that circle there, yellow circle with a grey infill, and that will simulate what you would touch on your iPad screen in order to get in and out of apps and be able to carry out the functions associated with the apps that we're looking at. So I'll start off first of all by going to the App Store, the Apple App Store, where we will install Seeing AI, and that Apple App Store app is the blue one with a white A in the center. And if it's not on your first home screen, just simply slide across and have a look out for it along the way. It could be anywhere in your list of apps depending on how much you have installed. So we'll tap first of all on the App Store. And normally when you land in here, you arrive on the Today screen, which will give you today's date, and it'll give you what's popular in the App Store and stuff that Apple has decided that is popular, what's the most popular apps out there. Then you have the games apps, other apps as well, the arcade section, and finally we're looking for the section. So all those the search section, so all those are across the bottom of your screen. So the bottom right into search, so I just tap there, and underneath the title for search we have got the grey search bar. So we tap in there, and that will enable your keyboard, on-screen keyboard if you don't have an external one connected by Bluetooth, and we're going to type in Seeing AI, so SEEING, put in a space, AI. We'll hit the blue enter button to commence our search. And we get a list of results here. So the app we're looking for is the Seeing AI. It's this green colored icon with S through the shape of an eye is the icon. And normally you would have a get button here, but I had previously installed this app before and uninstalled it just to show everybody how to download that and install it today. So we have a little cloud with an arrow there that indicates the app was installed on your device before, and just tap that to reinstall it. If you haven't, you will have a get button, and either icon will enable you to reinstall that app. So it downloads, and depending on the speed of your internet, it may take a minute or two or perhaps 3 minutes to download and install. So we'll just go in here while it's installing, and we'll explore a little bit more about it. It's from the Microsoft Corporation, and they have only made it available for iPhone and iPad. It's out about 2 years now, and Microsoft have said they will eventually release it for Android users, but we haven't heard any update on that recently, so we can only presume they're still working on it. In here is the version history, so we can tap in here. Every so often they'll send out updates for the apps. So as you can see there, it's sorted by the most recent updates, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, and occasionally they add new features. So this particular one, version 3.3, they've added in support languages for Dutch, French, German, Japanese and Spanish, and you can read more about that by tapping on that more link there. And as you can see, going the whole way back through the list of updates, you can see all the features they've been adding all the way along since they released the app about 2 years ago. So we'll come back out of that. While it's still installing, we'll just get a little bit of preview of what's contained. So the app takes advantage of the camera that's built into your iPad or iPhone, and its main feature is to take a photograph of documents and pick up on the text, and that brings it back to a scan results screen where you can increase the text size or read back the text that is detected. There's also a recognize faces function on it in the people section. We won't actually be doing that in our demonstration today because of the COVID-19 situation. We are social distancing, so we don't have any colleagues that we can use to participate in that demonstration. But do download and install the app yourself at home and try it with your family members. So I'll show you later in the demonstration how to access that. Another feature of the app is for identifying products. So it'll look for a barcode that's on a product, take that photograph of the product and give you information about that. It works on most products. I won't say every product is covered, but most products do definitely come back with a result. Short text is the main feature of the app and instantly reads whatever text is in view of the camera. So I'll be showing you that as well. So I'll just come back out of those. There are more features. We'll go through them now in a few moments. So first of all, we've got our open button here, which indicates that the app has been installed. But I'm just going to show you by returning to the desktop where I'll just tap the home button here, where the app is and the icon that you're looking out for. So I'll just scroll across here. There's many apps on this iPad, and it has popped it in here. So there is the icon for Seeing AI, and I'll tap on that. And because we have just installed it, it's looking for permission to use the camera. Sorry, now everything is on its side at the minute. It's just part of this setup. As soon as we get into the app, it reorientates the correct way around. So you might have to turn your head sideways to read this. It's saying Seeing AI would like to access the camera, and you give it permission by saying OK to that. That's important to tick that OK, because if you don't give the app permission to access the camera, it really takes away from all the functionality of the app. So an introduction screen then comes up, and we're just going to skip that. And then the regular terms and conditions of use. So tap the little box here to accept those, and we go for get started, and we tap on that.
Short text.
Now, thankfully my screen has rotated back the correct way around, so we're making sense again. Now, short text is the starting point of Seeing AI, and because the app is new, it'll give us this once-off advice script, and it tells us to hold the camera over some text to have it automatically read to you. As new text comes into view, it'll also be read out aloud. While reading out aloud, Seeing AI may start again from the beginning if the camera captures a clear image of the text. So what that means is try and hold your iPad or your iPhone as steady as possible over the page of text that you have on a flat surface, and if you hold it quite steady, it will not jump back to the start and read again. So that is a good bit of advice to take on board. And if you find that your hand is not steady enough to control the camera and it's starting back over and over again, there is another option to go in to have it read a document. Also, there are video tutorials that you're advised to go and look at online. Microsoft have put up tutorials on YouTube that you can click in and watch. So I'm just going to exit this little advice script here. There's an arrow to the left up in the top left of your screen. We'll tap on that.
Children and young people on it to Milstnat UCR services and or took part in activities in 2019. There is a demand to continue to support the development of independent living and travel skills, assistive technology and peer support. In addition, parents requested more resources to develop.
Okay, so I had already set up a page from our NCBI catalog at the back of the camera, and it has started to read from that page, reading the words that started at the top and continued along, and I've paused it so it doesn't continue talking over what I'm trying to say here. And to continue, then you can just tap the play button and it will read again for you. So I might just move the camera a little bit. You also have the options to change the language. So it's default set to English, and you can change if you know the language of the text is different, you can pick that from the list and it will read that out correctly in its native language. So the next one we have is the channels across the bottom here. So we have document, product, person, currency, scene, color, handwriting, and light. And we're going to explore most of these. Just to highlight there that there's 3 of them have a yellow test tube symbol on them, which means that that section of the app has not been completed and the results may not be as accurate as one would hope. But they are constantly working and updating on this app. So do check for the updates and install those as they come down, and each of these sections will eventually be completed. So the next one we're going to go for is document.
Document.
So it tells us to hold the camera over a printed page to capture it. Good advice is to have the page left down on a flat surface and to go in then to document, and it will guide you to move a little to the left or to the top or to the bottom in order to get the whole edges of the document visible. And when it's happy with that, it'll take the photograph. It'll advise you that it's going to take the photograph by saying, please hold steady. The reason it wants you to hold steady is so that the text does not become blurred from the photograph, and that the optical character recognition will work correctly and give you good results. So its advice then is, a good technique is to place the camera in the center of the page, move it away slowly, making slight adjustments. And another piece of advice is try and have the page, usually everybody works with a white A4 sheet. So if you had it on a dark background, dark table top or countertop, it will make it a lot easier for the app to recognize the edges of your document. And once the results come back, then you can play the results to hear that text read aloud, and you can increase or decrease the size of the text on the results screen, and you can also share it out. Again, there's a little video tutorial that you can click on to go onto YouTube, and that will show you that in action as well. So I'm just going to pop back out here, top left arrow back out, tap here, and we're going to look.
No edges visible.
So at the moment it's telling me
no edges visible.
No edges visible. So I'm just going to grab
no edges visible
and come back out. And I'll just keep
hold steady. Processing.
Okay. So yeah, I just moved a little to the left to exclude the page to the right hand side. So, and then you heard it say hold steady, and it took its snapshot. So this requires an internet connection in order for the text recognition to work, and depending on the lighting and how steady you hold your hand, and make sure that the lens of the camera is clean, all those factors come into play and determine that you get good results. And just from casting my eye over the scan result, I can see that the detection has been quite accurate. Overall, I find 99% of the text is correctly picked up, and nod time it will get maybe a word wrong or something like that, and that can be down to maybe poor quality print. So often we find that a photocopy of something mightn't come out as clear, and then that hinders the accuracy of the results. So if you have a good clear printout on the page that you're trying to capture, the results will reflect that. So I'm going to show you now on the results page what you can do with this. And we have down in the bottom left our play button, and that can be used to read back the text. So I'll just show you that. We'll tap on the play button.
Body, font family, Arial, font size, 12 points. Welcome to NCBL's Children and Young Persons, SIP, Services Calendar of Events for 2020. We are delighted to be able to continue to increase our offer of workshops and events delivered by our highly trained staff in the Children and Young Persons team.
Okay, so I've paused that there. So you can see on the read back that it is able to read back the text quite accurately and highlight the sentences on and highlight the word it is reading. Now, as mentioned earlier, you can increase the size of the text. So over here to the bottom right, we've got the A+ and the A- symbols. So if we tap on A+, I'm just going to stop the text actually to remove our highlighting there while we're increasing. So I have it up to the top there, and you can simply just scroll down through the document. And you've got quite large text there, which should make it easy to read back. If that's too big, you have the A with a minus, which is the center one of the three in the bottom right. And we tap on that, and again, the text returns back smaller. And that's our document there. Also, we have the share button in the very bottom right. It's a little box with an arrow emerging from it. And it gives us two options. We can share the image or share the text. So we're going to just tap on share text, and you can save it to your files or copy the text that's there or email it to somebody. So I'm just going to show you the way that would work in email. It instantly launches up a new email where you can type in who it is you want to send it to. Oops, tapped into a. So if I want to send it to myself, tap that there and send it on. And that is gone to my email inbox as an attachment, which I can open and get that text. Handy if you want to send something back maybe to a laptop and you want to be able to open the attachment and copy and paste that text maybe in somewhere else into the likes of Word or something on your PC. Very handy for that. The next one we
No
have
edges
is the
visible.
product.
Product.
So you can see from the bottom there, you can select which part of the app you want to use. And again, hold the camera over a product until you hear beeps that indicate a barcode is in view. Holding the camera further away and slowly going closer works best. The faster the beeps, the closer you are to the barcode. When a barcode is detected, Seeing AI will say the product name. Works for most products out there, and obviously they will provide additional information about the product if it's available. You can tap on more to read more about it. Again, you have a video tutorial which will take you to YouTube. So I'll just come back out of there, and what I'm going to do next is I have a book, and I'm going to just move it in view of the camera.
Processing.
So
Let's read a story. Hide and seek.
So quite quickly, you know, within a second of getting the barcode, you can see the barcode here into the view of the camera, it detects it and it gives back the result. It's saying, let's read a story, hide and seek. And we'll just turn the product around. And yep, it's a Disney child's book. Let's read a story, the hide and seek. Excellent results. So most products out there, you pop it in front of the camera, it'll tell you what they are. Next one we're going to try out is currency. So currency recognition is always improving. So still have somebody you trust confirm the note's value. Hold the camera over a single note to hear the estimated value. Use the button on the main screen to select which currency should be recognized. If your currency is not listed, please inform them and they'll try and get that added for you. But we are in the euro area and it has that covered, so we should be good on that front. And just a note of caution, Seeing AI cannot differentiate between real and counterfeit money, so just to be aware of that. Again, there's a link to the YouTube video tutorial which you can follow and try that. So it's a Thursday afternoon.
Paused recognition due to inactivity.
Okay, so I'll just
€5.
tap that and it
€5.
we have €5 there. Unfortunately it's a Thursday, wallet is a little bit empty, so we're just down to our last €5 note here today. So the scene again, you can try that out. I'm just going to pop a pen here. Oops, I'm trying to get to stand up. And we'll try the scene.
Scene preview.
It'll take a photograph of a scene. It's still experimental, so it might not be as accurate as you hope. Take a photo and hear the description of the scene it captured. It isn't always correct, so to try and help them with that, you can always send in your feedback. Again, another link to a tutorial there. So I'll come back out. And what I'm looking for here is the camera icon on the left, and I just snap
Processing.
that.
Probably a close-up of a white wall.
Okay, it missed my pen, but yeah, I have a white sheet of paper behind the iPad here, and it's thinking it's a wall. So maybe I just try this pen again. See can we get anything from that. So snap that.
Processing. It seems to be office supplies, pen, tool, writing implement, weapon, ball pen,
Okay.
office instrument, marking tools,
Yep.
brush, pencil, scissors, stationery.
Quite a broad description there, but it did get the ball pen in there, so yeah, we'll give it a thumbs up on that. As it says, it is experimental, and this explore photo feature has been added as well, so you can move over the sections of the photo and it should call out what it is as you move over that.
Processing.
So it just does an additional process.
One item detected. Move your pen.
Pen. Cool, you got it. Okay, well done, Seeing AI. So we'll come back out of that section. And the next is the color.
Color preview.
Okay, again, depending on light, the lighting factors, it'll detect color, shadows and all that. It might detect white is slightly yellowish if we have artificial lighting on. So just to bear that in mind, it will do its best. Again, it's experimental, so we'll try that out now.
Gray.
Okay, so yeah, a little bit poor lighting here. The sun has gone in, the clouds are over, the grey clouds are over, so that's reflected in our colour here.
Gray and yellow. Orange and yellow.
So I'm just popping the
Gray
book
and
in
green.
here again.
Green.
Green.
Gray.
So
Gray and green.
grey and green.
Brown.
Brown.
Brown and greenish brown. Brown and red.
Brown and red, yeah.
Red and brown.
So
Gray.
not too bad on that front. It is a little bit dull here today. We did have sunshine up till about 20 minutes ago. Unfortunately, that has gone in, so I think our lighting is not as good. So next section we'll try is the handwriting.
Handwriting preview.
Okay, so again, just a word of caution, this is still in development, and we have to have the text the correct way up, and depending on the handwriting style, which can obviously vary greatly from individual to individual, so it'll do its best. It would be quite interesting to see how the doctor's prescription would work. Anyway, let's give it a twirl. I have prepared this little piece of text. I'm just going to get it into the center of the camera there, and I'm going to snap that.
Processing. Hello there. how are you today?
Okay, 10 out of 10 seeing AI. So again, you have the option to share that, save it to your files or pop it in an email again. So that is very handy to have as well. You can save the photo if you want. And I might actually do that. Again, if you want to allow it access to your photo library, we say okay on that. And access your location. Okay, we'll save however we're using the app. And it says our photo has saved successfully. So those first two questions that popped up, they won't pop up again because we've answered those. So we pop back out there. The light, then I'll just remove this. Depending on the light, it will, the higher the pitch, the closer it is to a light source.
Light.
Be handy for someone, did I leave the light on in the room? Just get this section open and shine it upwards, and it'll increase the pitch. So there you can hear the pitch. So it's a reasonably lit source there. What I might do is just grab my torch, and as I move that in, the torch in, you can hear the pitch getting louder. I'll just do that again. So that's the pitch. It'll tell you if there's light on. And if we kill the light, it should get much lower. So there you go. It's got much lower. Just closing the curtains here and open them again. And that gives us the light. So I'll just stop that now. That's most of the channels I've covered there. I know I left out the person because we don't have anybody here at the moment that we can demonstrate it on, but do try that one at home. Next thing I want to bring your attention to is up here in the top left. We've got 3 lines. We'll tap on that, and that allows us to browse the photos in our gallery. And so if you wanted maybe to lift text from a photograph you took earlier, or you wanted to identify what was in a photograph that we did earlier, that's where you can go for there. So if we go to browse photos, so browse photos stored on your phone or your iPad, and it'll analyze it for objects, people, text and location. And you can, when using voiceover, you can swipe through the thumbnails. You'll initially hear a basic description. If you analyze the photo using Seeing AI, that gets stored with it in your gallery. So if you're going back in 2-3 weeks time and you're looking for a photograph, maybe you took one of the dog outside and it'll say, dog in the garden. It'll give you those little descriptions. So it's very handy if you did want to send a particular photo to somebody that you knew you were getting the one you wanted. So instead of trying to rely on the date and time it was took, you get the option of hearing a little bit more about it. So
Probably a close-up of text on a white background. Duro,
okay.
Ireland. Hello there. How are you today? 1222.
So you heard it read out all about that little photograph we took and saved a few moments ago of the handwriting text. So it tells you it's text on a white background, correct, and then it picked up the text and read that back to us, correct, and it told us that we took the photograph in Ireland, again, correct. So absolutely fantastic stuff. So we come back out of that. We go next to our settings section, and you can set your default currency. You can add in Siri Shortcuts, and I'll just demonstrate that for you. And what I'm going to do is, first of all, we're going to go into configure Siri Shortcuts. I've done some of these here already. So we'll just do recognize color for example, and you can tap on that recognize color or any of these commands and add them to Siri. So you can see the ones that have been added are ticked, and to activate those, what I'm going to do is ask Siri to recognize handwriting. So I'm just going to summon Siri.
Handwriting Preview.
So brings us straight to that, and we're ready to tap on our camera.
Processing. Hello there. How are you today?
And let's try, so actually we'll come out of the app. I'll just close off the app altogether. And we'll try that Siri one more time with, let's say, the currency, which I think will be very handy to have. So I'm just going to go for Siri.
€5.
So straight into the app,
€5.
and it starts reading straight away.
€5.
So I'm just going to pause that. So that is how the Siri shortcuts can work. It makes it very easy to use from that point of view. You can ask it to recognize the document or recognize a person. You can build all those into Siri. So again, just to highlight that 3 lines in the top activates your menu, into settings, and configure Siri shortcuts. Also in the settings, you can change that voice. If you don't like the voice you hear, you can change that simply going in here and picking one of the other voices. You can select the volume and have that in your own particular preference. You can move that slider up and down, and you can also when you're browsing photos, always show the newest photographs first, which is extremely handy. If you're out and about, you take a photograph and you come home, then you want to analyze that photograph. It's nice that you're not searching everywhere for it. It's one of the first ones in your gallery. So thank you very much for listening in on this webinar, and if you have any questions on the Seeing AI app, don't hesitate to get in contact with your local NCBI IT training and support person, and they will be glad to help any of you guys out getting started on this app and doing any little bit of training to help you get more familiar with it. So thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon.